Picture this. You are a first-year teacher, and it is the very first day of school. You feel all the nerves, but you're the teacher, so you can show it. I can definitely relate to this because this was me just this past August. I remember thinking, what if I forget something? What if I mess up? But then I remembered 2 words: lesson plan. I was so grateful to have my lesson plan because not only was it my backup, but it was also my insurance that I would teach the lesson correctly and not forget anything. My lesson plan works for me in my kindergarten class, but one thing I have learned so far in my just starting teaching career is that you have to adjust on the fly and be up to making changes on the spot. Fast forward to me being a student now in this professional learning and practice class and being shown a new lesson plan. New meaning different. I saw it and my eyes went big. My brain was like, whoa, this is a lot. Very, very different from my lesson plan that I'm currently using. My lesson plan is very simple and basic, and compared to this other one, not as much to have to fill out. My lesson plan covers a whole week and breaks down the daily schedule with each subject. Besides filling out the lesson, I also fill out what standard is being covered and what my class will learn from it. But this is different. This different lesson plan is triple in length, very complex, and it also only covers one lesson for one time slot of the day, which is very different from what I'm used to. It has many components to it. It covers every question, process, and thought that anyone could think of. So it covers everything. Reading through this lengthy lesson plan for the first time, just like anything new and different, it seems very challenging and a lot of work. There are 3 elements of the lesson plan that I found the most challenging. The first element is the how is theory applied in lesson. This section has 3 parts to it, which is an overall breakdown of what theory will apply to this lesson, an explanation of the theory, and why I selected it. Research and being very descriptive is needed for this section, and is also why I find it challenging because I'm not familiar with this, and so it would take me more time in researching and explaining the theory. The second element is diverse learners' mixed abilities. This section is broken into 4 ability groups, which is 1 students with disabilities, 2 English learners, 3 advanced learners, and 4 at risk. I find this very challenging to have to break down what each group of students will be doing along with what I will be doing. I also find it challenging to find evidence-based strategies that I will use, which again is going to take research. Having to break it up into 4 different learning groups is a lot on its own, and then adding all the other information that is needed on top of it is even more. The third element that I find challenging is introduction of new material. There are 6 parts to this section, which is a lot, and being specific is needed. I already find it challenging having to introduce new material to my kindergarten class as it is, but then reading this section and all the components that it consists of, I find this part even more challenging than when I have to just physically introduce the new material. It is challenging for me to research and explain. I'm way better at just keeping it simple and just putting it into action. I definitely feel like I'm more of just a doer. So this different lesson plan template is definitely not what I'm used to or what I'm familiar with. So of course, when something you're not familiar with it, it's going to be challenging. It's extremely long and has challenging elements, but I do see it as a very thorough lesson plan, as well as it will help me be a successful teacher and ready for all the things, and that is what it's all about.